All right, and we should be live. Let's try this out and see. Let's make sure that I can hear the audio. Okay, I can hear it just fine. Everything sounds good. Let me check the stream real quick before I open up. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's working fine, but I have to double check because last time there was a bit of an echo. Fine, but I have to double check because last time so let me make sure that's not there this time. Let me make sure that's not there this time. Let me make sure that's not there this time. Let me make sure that's not there this time. Okay, so I think there's still the echo. One second. Okay, so I think there's still the echo. One second. Let's see if it gets rid of it now. Let's see if it gets rid of it now. Oh, okay, so it's going to be picking up my desktop audio. So if I just turn off the desktop audio, so I can just mute that. Okay, so now the desktop audio is turned off. And I don't think we have a double echo anymore. Okay, great. So I don't have to wear the headset, which is great. And we don't have a double echo anymore. That's awesome. Okay, so ask me any questions you have for AI for a service business or contractors. Pretty much the same thing, but I'm going to go ahead and get started working on something real quick while we're waiting. What I'm going to work on right now, and again, if you have any questions at all, just jump in and throw them out there, and I would be more than happy to help solve them. Okay, so I'm going to say right now what I want to do is I want to find leads, or no, I want to find pain points for customers for a pest control company. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, so I want you to go into Reddit, and I want you to find me 100 subreddits, and I want you to find all the pain points, what people are complaining about, what they're talking about, what irritates them, what makes them happy, what is satisfying, what's not satisfying, the pay, the cost, the inconveniences, the hassles, everything. So basically, find where pest control service customers are living inside of subreddits, and I want you to return me 100 subreddits, and I want just the URLs, not formatted, not numbered, bulleted, or anything like that. Just the raw URLs, and bring it back to me, please. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me get the site here. There we go. All right, so since I sent that off, I'm about to send it off out now, actually. So I'm going to do a deep research, and then I'm going to send that off. What that's going to do is going to take about 5 minutes. That's going to return me my entire list that I can put into Notebook LM next. So we can just go ahead and open up Notebook LM, and I can create a new one. And then we can start the research. You can read through it. I usually don't read through it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's so far it's been really accurate for me, so I haven't had any problems at all with it. All right. And then Notebook LM, again, if you're not familiar with it, on the left-hand side, this is where your sources go. This is where the AI pulls from. And then you have your chatbot here in the middle, your chat box, and you can talk to the AI that way. And then on the right-hand side, we have some tools that we can use. Some of them are good. Some of them are just kind of flashy, but we will be using some of them. Okay, so this is the one thing with AI is it usually takes about 5 minutes for this deep research to run. So we need to give it a little bit of time, but it is identifying. We can go ahead and read through this. It says mapping the Reddit pest control ecosystem. The one thing that I didn't do is I didn't identify what state we're working in. So I think going forward, what I would do is I would tell it what state or city you're working in. That would be a really big, important part. But for now, this is fun. It's probably going to pull from where I live, which is in Arizona anyway. So, and it would probably do the same thing for you. But that's just something to keep in mind of, especially if you have a couple different locations and you're looking for, trying to figure out like, okay, what are the pain points of your customers? Okay. The tenant landlord battleground over bed bugs. Are bed bugs really a problem right now? I don't really feel like I know that many people that talk about bed bugs. But then again, I don't think it's something that I would really want to talk about to my friends. So maybe everybody just keeps it hush hush and quiet. Because who wants to be the one to fess up they have bed bugs? Finalizing the clean directory of communities. Okay, that's great. All right. And I need to make sure that I open up while this is running here. We're waiting. I need to make sure I open up my YouTube live chat. I mean, I can see the chat here, but I can't see. I guess this would work. It's probably the same latency. But wouldn't that make the latency even worse if I'm reading it in the... I don't think it matters too much. I don't want to read into it. Okay, that's fine. All right. And also, fun fact for Notebook LM2, you can also go up here to customize Notebook, and then you can set your, or no, not this one actually. There's another thing that's going to pop up right here once we put in some info, to where you can basically customize the Notebook LM to give you specific responses back. So formatted and more tailored responses. So it's pretty good for that. I have used it a couple times, but for the most part, you don't really need to do too much with that. Okay, and while we're also waiting, let me go pull up the AI news real quick, so I can generate today's digest for AI, and we can read that real quick while we're waiting on this to come back. I've already read that one. This one's kind of old. I haven't created a digest in 10 days, really. All right, NADN published a guide on making AI agents more reliable and restricting their actions. Really, that's kind of surprising. Not really that applicable to us right now, though. ClickUp replaces hundreds of employees with thousands of AI agents. Wow, now that's kind of nuts. The project management company laid off a large portion of the staff and is replacing with AI agents, one of the most concrete examples yet of AI agent adoption at scale and a real company source. That sounds concerning. I don't think we're quite ready for that yet. OpenAI launches workspace agents with admin and builder controls. ChatGPT now lets admin create and manage shared AI agents across the team, which could be useful for service companies wanting to deploy a shared assistant for their office staff source. Okay. AWS launches Agent Core with ambient monitoring agents. That's not applicable to us. MIT Tech Review reality check on AI job hysteria. Despite the ClickUp headlines, aggregate employment remains stable and mass displacement is not happening yet, which is useful context when talking to skeptical service business. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the AI stuff right now. I think that if anything, people are going to rush to deploy it, and it's going to cause them more problems than it's going to fix because it's so soon. But, I mean, that's kind of the way the world's going, right? And it's unfortunate, but what can we do? Right? Okay, I'm just trying to fix my arm here. There we go. Awesome. Yeah. Honestly, if I had it my way, I would live in a cabin in the woods somewhere with a nice lake behind me, like Canada or Colorado or some kind of vibe like that. Okay, and just disappear. Man, this is taking a long time. There we go. All right, sweet. We are done. All right, so the deep research is going to come back with a bunch of different stuff, like the digital fancy words AI uses that is not at all important. And then we're going to go through. You can read this if you want to. I wouldn't even touch it, honestly. I would just go to those URLs. So it listed us 100 URLs, and we can see that German roaches, bug identification, pest management, what is this bug bites, gardening, Pittsburgh, Huntsville, Alabama. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama, so that's where I pulled. So we can say, and we can painstakingly wait for this another round to go through. So I want only the URLs that are applicable to Phoenix, Arizona, or Phoenix Metro. So just the valley for me. So it should cover about 5 million people. And yes, you can include certain ones that are like about the bed bugs and stuff like that for all the bugs. So not limited to what I just said, but feel free to include more. But as far as for the city specific, right, in the region, I want to focus on Phoenix, Arizona, and the surrounding areas within the state. Okay, there we go. We can send that off and we can just wait. All right. So we've got interesting Decatur, Georgia, Santa Fe. Wow, they included a lot of different areas here. That's incredible. Again, you just want to use the ones that's for your state or your area. If you have multiple locations, then feel free to throw those in there too. It's usually pretty accurate or accurate enough. Bug identification, pest management, pest control, industry, inside pest control, bed bugs. Okay. Invasive species, bug bites, termites, carpenter beetles, entomology. What is this? Mold, DIY, frugal, home improvement, home, poverty finance, self-reliance, legal advice. Why would legal advice be in there? See, that's stuff like that. And sometimes it throws those in there and you don't really need that, so I wouldn't even include that. But interesting, termites. I was licensed in the state of Alabama for treating termites, wood destroying organisms. They call it WDO, wood destroying organisms. So it's termites, fungus, stuff like that. All right, we just have to wait. It's unfortunate. I feel like this is one of those moments where you play like a game or something to wait. But honestly, this is what I do. I usually, like, sometimes I will open up like 3 or 4 tabs and try to do a lot of work. But what I'll find is if I open up that many tabs, I will usually get less done because my brain is so stretched thin. My bandwidth is taken up from all these different tasks. So for something like this, usually it's better just to send it and then just focus your brain on it. And I usually get more done by doing 1, maybe 2 things tops, but that's about it. You don't want to do too much. Okay, so there we go. It cleaned it up. Awesome. Okay, so now we could just take this and we could just copy all of these URLs and then just press Control C. I can turn on my cursor so you can see it easier. And then we can just paste it here and then click send. And then it's going to pull all of these Reddits in here into Notebook.lm. Just like so. And once it gets done loading all this in, we've got 99 sources, so not quite 100, but close enough. All right. And by the way, you can use Notebook.lm for like a lot of different stuff. If you wanted to find prospects or you wanted to do really anything, you can do it. You could do this with Google Maps. You could take Google Maps business profiles and go ask it to pull all of those from the web, and then you can take all those URLs and put them in here, and then you can find prospects. So Notebook.lm is extremely powerful for. It's actually one of the most powerful tools for AI right now for practical uses. It's incredibly useful. Okay, so we're not quite there yet. It'll pull up a little bitty thing here. This is that button I was talking about earlier, how you can configure the notebook. So you can set to like a learning guide. You can do custom. You can do whatever you want with this. I'm just going to leave it off for now. Okay, so it says Untitled Notebook. We're going to say, let me move my microphone here. Pest control customer pain points. Okay, just like that is fine. There we go. And it's going to say the provided sources comprise a collection of social media feeds and local news links focused on current events. Wait, why does it say that? That is completely false. Because everything I'm seeing... Oh, it did throw in. Yeah, just go through and delete these little bitty sneaky links. Sneaky links. Go through and just delete these little bitty... These ones that should not be in here. Yeah, I don't see personal finance for financially challenged. Like, yeah, sometimes it just throws in there. You know, when you go fishing with a net, you're gonna get some stuff you don't want. Uh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Um, we can just set custom. We can just say pain points, because we don't want to spend too much time on this. It doesn't really matter. So just pain points. You could put this to anything you want. You could leave it blank if you want. Honestly, you know what? I might actually just leave it blank and I'll just put a little dot there. There we go. Boom. Just like that dot. All right. Creator notes. All right. So now what we can do is I can say, I would like you to give me all of the pain points for pest control customers of what they are complaining about. What's the biggest complaint that they have right now? Could you give me top 5? And by the way, if you ramble like I'm rambling right now a little bit, where you're like, blah, 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 AI is not really going to care because AI is natural language. So it's not really going to matter too much. The prompts don't have to be perfect, but the more context you give, the better, unless you give too much context, which is rarely ever going to happen. You're not going to give too much. Okay. Ineffective treatments and treating symptoms over root causes. I don't see that as really. Customers frequently complain that pest control companies fail to permanently resolve their infestations despite multiple professional visits. For instance, customers have reported having their homes treated half a dozen times for ants or blowflies with no success. Furthermore, customers are frustrated when companies often... Okay, so that's great. That's fantastic. That makes sense. I can see it. They come out and treat, and the bugs are still there. Got it. High cost for minimal effort and no guarantees. All right. Careless applications of chemicals and safety concerns, probably mostly the mothers, right? Poor communication and lack of notice. By the way, I'm not hating on that. That's a serious concern. I'm actually the same way because I'm kind of a germaphobe and I'm a health freak a little bit. Poor communication and lack of notice. Conflicting diagnoses that make customers feel scammed. Okay, I could see that. Is it? Yeah, if you tell the customer one thing and then somebody else tells them another thing within your company, then yeah, it's going to create confusion. Okay, so we have these top 5: ineffective treatments and treating symptoms over root causes, high costs, blah blah blah. So what we can do is I can say, okay, great. Now what I would like you to do is I would like you to take these top 5 pain points that you just provided with me and then go through our sources and figure out what are the things that actually solved these problems. Like, what are the customers praising about? What are they excited about? What are they thankful and talking the most about in a positive way of things that are related to these 5 things that help them solve these problems? Nothing else. I was stuck there for a second because I was trying to figure out how do I word that. Which is great. If you don't know what to say, just keep talking, and AI will pick it up. Confirming information scarcity. Dude, it's the weirdest thing. I've been getting so tired around this time every day, like between 1 and 3, like just crushing tired. And it happened yesterday too. I don't know why. I haven't been sleeping that well. I don't know. I feel like I've been hearing other people say they haven't been sleeping well either for some reason. I have reviewed the materials, but the provided source does not contain any information about pest control customers praising or explicitly excited about professional pest control companies solve these. Okay, so this is what we can do here. We're going to have to take a step further. Okay, that's fine. What I want you to do is I want you to write me a comprehensive, exhaustive prompt that I can give to another Gemini deep research to find where all the pest control customers are praising and talking positive about the things that work for them and the treatments and stuff like that. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go to another Gemini session and turn on deep research. And then we can go to another notebook LM. Open new link. There we go. And then we can just create this one, and we can just call it, what was the last one we called? Pest control customer pain points. Let's just call pest control customer solutions. There we go. Pain points solutions. And actually, I'm super picky about this. I would do like a little dash there to keep it spaced out. And then for this one, we just need to get this prompt here. And then copy that. Give it to there. Let's just make sure what it says a little bit. Okay, wait. We gotta clarify real quick. Okay, this is great, but we also need to give specifics of like, hey, we want 100 subreddit URLs, just the URLs, not bulleted, not numbered, not formatted, just the URLs, please. Okay, there we go. We almost let AI loose off its leash. Yeah, all right. So we can go ahead and delete this. And again, the only reason we're using Google Deep Research is to pull in these sources. I think you can do that from Notebook LM from straight, like right here. But I kind of prefer to do it from here. And I think it might be in a habit. So actually, now that we're saying that, why don't we just run them simultaneously and just see what happens? Because I haven't tried that before. So yeah, let's do that. So once we get this prompt back, we'll give it to both and see what happens. If it doesn't work out, we'll delete it and we'll make a new Notebook LM. All right, just waiting. Gotta do a posture check. Integrating the latest subreddits. Okay, so I think it might be getting confused. I think what we're gonna have to do here is we're gonna stop this. Yeah, we're gonna stop that, and then we're gonna leave this alone. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to here. I'm gonna say, hey, so I want you to find all of the subreddits where pest control customers live, where they praise people, where they talk positive about things, they talk positive about treatments and their experiences and all the things that worked out in the best ways possible for them. So everything that is positive and uplifting and good. I want to find all the subreddits where people talk about that kind of stuff. I want 100 subreddits that are unformatted, not bulleted, not numbered, nothing like that. Just the URLs. Feed them back to me, please. Thank you so much. Okay, and we're going to copy that. And then I'm going to deep research here. And then I'm also going to deep research right here and see what happens. Very curious. Scanning. Please stay on this page. Okay, we can do that. And I know this is a little complex or just a little bit. Hopefully it's not confusing. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take all those URLs. That's the main thing, is find out where are the people complaining. And then we're going to find the pain points of like what are they complaining about the most. And then we're getting these URLs for another set. And then this is going to be all the positive things about everything that worked. And then we're going to find out what are they praising the most. And then we're going to cross-reference them and figure out like, okay, for these problems that we came up with, were there solutions over here that they talked highly about for this, okay, so that you can implement it yourself. So it's good to have a negative list and a positive list so you can use one to solve things from the other, if that makes sense. You can cross-reference them. I think that makes perfect sense. And I left the page. I'm sorry. Feel free to leave. Okay, great. Okay, we can start this deep research and see what comes up. I am really curious, though, to see. And then we can go back to this one, and then I'm going to delete that. And then what's nice about this is I'm going to copy this prompt here, delete that, and then you can delete the chat, and it's not going to mess with the sources. You can delete it the infinite amount of times, and that's not even a word, but you can do that, and you can keep using it over and over again. All right. Step 3 of 5 is complete. Perfect. This is great. Okay, so we have the pain points back now. High cost for low perceived value and lack of guarantees. That was ineffective treatments and treating symptoms over root causes. A minute ago, that was number one. I wouldn't list these I would just say that these are all 5 serious things. I wouldn't put them one over another, however. And so you can go create mind maps of this. We can figure out, let's just go and create a mind map. It doesn't cost anything. By the way, Notebook LM is completely free, and it has some usage limits, but if you want to upgrade, you can just pay Google, and it's like $20 a month for 2 terabytes of storage and Gemini usage and image creation and AI in your email box, your Drive. I mean, it's super powerful. It's probably one of the best deals on the market right now for AI is Google's, and that makes perfect sense, right? Okay, so we have not gotten our sources yet. And I'm actually going to put this over here by this one. So we have the sources here, we have this one, and we're going to have the sources here and have this one. Okay, great. And then we're generating a mind map right now. Let's go ahead and generate an infographic as well, too. I'm curious what it's going to come up with. You can click this button here to make it like, you can auto-select it. You can do more concise, different styles, different prompts and stuff like that, which is great, but we don't really need that right now. Okay, and that's the thing with Google Deep Research is it takes a while. Okay, here's our mind map. We can open that up. And what's cool about the mind map is that it's going to Arizona regional and social landscape, governance and politics, housing and tenant life, infrastructure and environment, community and culture. Let's do housing and tenant life, landlord-tenant disputes, legal policies, pest management. There we go. Bed bug and identification support, infestation anxiety and support. That's an interesting thing that I didn't think about. Is it causes people a lot of anxiety. Interesting. Okay, so you can click on that, and it's going to bring that up in the chat, which is pretty cool. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the mind map, and I'm just going to say, only show me things that are related to pest control. Only show me things that are related to pest control. Okay, boom, just like that. And then I'm going to delete this mind map here. Not quite done with the sources yet. Posture check here. Severe mental health toll. The sources reveal that pest infestations cause profound psychological distress, frequently triggering paranoia, severe anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia. Are you serious? I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. I see a bug in the house, and I'm just like, good for him. He figured out how to escape the wild. Individual dealing with bed bugs, roaches, or carpet beetles. I have to digress there because it makes me sound nasty. I don't have bugs in the house, but if I see one bug, I'm not panicking. But I do know people that if they see just one bug, they're freaking out. They will literally burn their house to the ground almost, and which is nuts. But everybody has their fears. Arizona's high cost of growth. It's insane that it can generate these graphics like this, but that's not applicable to us at all because I didn't clarify. So let's delete that. And then we can go to the infographic, and I can say, let's do instructional, and I could say, only show me things that are directly related to pest control. Because people are also complaining about other stuff in these subreddits too, right? So it's not just pest control. All right, so finalizing. Yeah, see, this is why I think that that deep research is better when you do it in Gemini because it only came up with 22 sources, which could be fine, I guess. But it took about the same amount of time to do both. So we now know. Well, I say that. I want this to be only pest control that is directly related to Phoenix and the surrounding areas in the state of Arizona. So Phoenix, Arizona, please, for pest control. So it looks like it's very important to clarify that because I have not really had that problem before. So now we know. So yeah, we could import these here. I'm just going to go ahead and import it to try it out and see what it does. So it took about the same amount of time to do Google Deep Research on Notebook LM as it did in Gemini, but in Gemini we didn't clarify that we want just, but we didn't do that either for here too. Interesting that came up with a different result, powered by the same AI too. Interesting. Okay. Pest Control Customer Solutions. This source consists of several Reddit discussions where users exchange advice on managing household infestations through professional services and to do-it-yourself techniques. So so we now know that if you use Notebook LM, that you get a much higher, you get a better accuracy on the sources you're implementing. So that's good. Okay. So we now have these solutions. So what we do is we can say, okay, here are our pain points for what people are bothered the most about pest control. And we now know that severe anxiety is one of them, and I didn't really know that, or didn't really think about it. And then I'm going to say, okay, so I have a list of people's greatest pain points when it comes to pest control. And I would like you to take the database that you have now and propose solutions and what people have found that works for them for these pain points, for these problems that are caused to them. Okay, that was not really well worded, but we get the point. All right, so what I'm basically saying is like, okay, I have some pain points over here, right? And I want to take those and I want to go to these Reddits here where people have found solutions and what works for them. And I want to identify, using these sources, how to solve these pain points, which is like high cost for low perceived value, ineffective treatments and treating symptoms over root causes, conflicting inspection and feeling scammed, and then careless chemical applications, safety concerns, and dismissive technicians who cannot find, what does it say? Dismissive technicians who cannot find the source, customers dealing with the stress of infestation, complain about technicians who fail to locate their nest or the source of bugs. I mean, yeah, but how can you, there's a billion bugs outside. It's kind of hard to find all of them, right? Okay, so high cost for low perceived value and lack of guarantees. So embrace DIY pro-grade solutions. Many homeowners have realized they can save hundreds or thousands of dollars by purchasing the exact same commercial-grade chemical professionals use, such as Demand, CS, Bifin. I've used Bifin before. It's a pretty good product. From online retailers like Damion or How To Pest. Okay, got it. Ditch the national chains for local independents. National corporate franchises are frequently criticized for their volume-driven business models. I don't know what that has to do with us here. Mom and pop. Oh, okay. So they're basically saying consumers recommend hiring local independent mom and pop contractors who offer flexible, contract-free, transactional pricing and take time to do thorough work. Okay, I can get that. I can get behind that. And then switch to quarterly treatments. So doing quarterly treatments cuts down on cost. Okay. I haven't really identified anything that's going to be like super helpful yet, though. Ineffective treatments when treating symptoms over root causes. Demand physical exclusion. Switch from repellents to non-repellent baits. So standard rapid kill sprays cause instant mortality on contact. That's so funny it says that. But they are highly repellent. Surviving insects simply detect the spray and relocate their nest to untreated areas of the home, creating chronic infestations. Yeah, but none of this is really... Okay, wait, 1 second. Okay, this is all great, but pretend like I am a pest control company, right? And I took those sources of what people are complaining about that I gave you, right? The top 5. And I gave them to you. And now I need you to advise me, consult me on what are ways that I could use my pest control company to help solve those problems for customers, right? Okay, and we'll send that off. Yeah, because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, this is some good stuff, but if it's not helping you do what you do, then it's not really helping you. But it is incredible, though. Like, I mean, the fact that we can just go and have all these Reddits where people complain about pest control, and then I can just ask it any question I want and pull from all the actual customers themselves. This is not blogs. This is not like somebody just wrote this up with ChatGPT. These are actual people that are complaining about the problems we have. And then now we have the positive ones here too about what people have said that actually works and helps them. And so now we can cross-reference them. It's incredible. Okay, so solving the high cost for low perceived value and lack of guarantees. Ditch the baseboard jockey reputation. Customers heavily resent paying $135 a month. $135 a month for technicians who just walk in with gallon tank and spend a few minutes lightly spraying baseboards. Ensure your technicians are doing thorough inspections and apply treatments mathematically and strategically. Offer flexible pricing and ironclad guarantees. Move away from forcing customers to long, rigid, long-term recurring contracts. Okay, well, we get that month to month. Solving ineffective treatments and treating symptoms over root causes. Transition to non-repellent colony eradication. Solving. Focus on expert identification, not hard sales. Prove your value through. I'm not really that impressed. There's got to be a better way that I can word this, because I don't think that I'm wording this correctly. Interesting. I'm just going to say top 10 pain points. I'm going to have that pump that back to me. I'm going to delete this and delete that, so we don't need that. And then I'm going to delete this chat here as well. And I'm going to say, how do I word this? I'm going to say this. I want you to identify in these subreddits where people have explicitly said and mentioned the good things that pest control companies did. Nothing DIY, nothing do-it-yourself, nothing like that. I want you to find where people have explicitly praised and talked good about what pest control companies did. I want you to identify those, okay? Like the top 5, all right? Be comprehensive and be exhaustive. All right, sweet. Also, fun fact for words, if you use the word comprehensive and exhaustive, you generally get some better results back. Severe mental health impacts and paranoia, high cost and financial strain, ineffective services and lack of guarantees. Okay, so we're seeing the same thing over and over again. Safety concerns for children and pets, property damage and loss of personal belongings. I would not worry about that at all. It sounds like a technician is just stealing. That's probably far and few. Exhausting treatment, preparation, and constant cleaning. Unhelpful or negligent landlords. Physical discomfort, bites, and sleep disruption. That would be awful. Persistent recurring infestations. Okay, this is a big one here. This is a huge one. Moving into pre-existing infestations. A common nightmare scenario is moving into a new rental or recently purchased home, only discover it's already infested with pests. Wow. I guess like if you did move in there and you found pests, you would feel like it was already infested, even if it really wasn't infested, I guess. From detection to eradication, the 4-step guide to home pest control. Wow, this is incredible that it took the Reddit and it generated this graph for us that has this is insane. This is absolutely nuts. We live in a wild time right now. Wow. So this guide right here is from, again, this is from Reddit, and it just I'm stuck on that. That's blowing my mind. That's so cool. I'm gonna have to say that because that's insane. This is like the most simple, like, how to treat for bugs thing ever, and it's literally pulled from Reddit. Like the users are saying what actually works and not just somebody. It'd be interesting to take this and then cross-reference it with what experts say and then see what the differences are. It's probably about the same, but that's so cool. Wow. It's incredible. Okay, so we have our good things. So people have said successfully eradicating tough infestations that DIY could not fix, providing superior knowledge, pest identification, and customer education. That's a huge one. That's a big one. This is like with pest control, this is one of those things in the business that you don't have to, like, if I'm going to build you a home, I don't have to explain to you everything about it. Now, I understand homeowners are going to want to micromanage and helicopter manage everything you do. I get it. But with building a home, you don't have to explain, like, okay, the studs are, 16 inches from the corner, and then it's 15 3/4 every, time, and the pipes are, X amount of inches off the ground, and, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to bugs, when you're explaining to a customer about the bugs, I have found it when I worked in pest control, I found it extremely useful to give them basic education of how this works, because really when it comes to bugs, the number one pain point of a customer is in their head of feeling like they have creepy crawlies in their house crawling on them and around. So that's an interesting thing. So I think education, it would be important to educate your not only your technicians, but have them have education templates or not templates, pamphlets that they can hand out. That's a huge one, and that's going to lower churn and increase customer satisfaction. Just educating them. Wow. Many homeowners explicitly praise pest control technicians for their deep knowledge of pest biological and their willingness to educate the customer. One user shared a story of trying every store-bought bait to get rid of ants for 4 weeks to no avail. They finally called a professional and praised them for properly identifying the species. Excuse me. Noting that I did not know there were different types of ants that preferred different types of foods. I learned more about ants that year than I ever known before. Yeah, that's really cool. That's great. All right. So honoring service guarantees and providing free follow-ups. Homeowners highly value professional companies that back up their work with solid warranties and free callbacks. I think that's a fantastic thing. Delivering specialized, fast-acting methods like heat treatments. When standard chemical sprays fail, users praise companies that utilize specialized high-tech eradication methods. Their heat treatments. I've never even heard of a heat treatment. Offered a research analyzing these digital pest control communities also know that the specific thermal system. What? Excuse me. That's something new to me. I've never even heard of heat treatments. That's wild. Exceptional customer service and dedication from locally family-owned shops. Across the sources, there is overwhelming praise directed at local independent exterminators for their friendly and dedicated customer service, in stark contrast to large corporate chains. That's going to be the hard thing, right? Like, if you have a large corporate chain, they're going to beat you out every single time when it comes to marketing and their campaigns and stuff. Like, it's going to be hard to compete with that. But when it comes to your customer satisfaction, like your quality of service, you can destroy them with that. Just pick up the phone, answer the phone, and do a really good job and be really personal, and you'll do great. But the big chains, they have a lot more resources to at their disposal for marketing and campaigns and nurturing their clients. So that's something to be aware of. Okay. That is great. So if I'm a pest control company, what are the things that I should be doing to increase customer satisfaction, decrease churn rate, and to that are the simplest things I could possibly do that are not challenging at all for me to do? What are the things that I should be focusing on based on what people are praising and what they like to see? Okay, we're going to get that back. Yeah, because there are simple things that people do that tend to help a lot that are not very hard at all to do. Okay, let's see what this says. I know I just recently bought a book from somebody, and he literally just signed the inside of the book, and it made the book like 10 times more valuable. And he just signed it. It was so simple. Educate your customers. Be a consultant, not just a sprayer. The simplest, most zero-cost action you can take is to talk to customers and explain what they are doing. The sources show that technicians who explain pest biological, outline how the chemicals work, and give their maintenance tips turn a basic transaction to a trusted partnership. Real world examples. One customer highly praised the company because their owner took 30 minutes on the phone just to educate them about mouse issues and local pricing. Okay, that is great, but you cannot spend 30 minutes on the phone. That's a bit wild there. That's actually a pet peeve of mine. You should not be spending that much time on the phone. Offer between treatments, free callback guarantee. Customers hate paying for a recurring service if they see bugs. Offering a guarantee that you will return for free if the pests appear between their scheduled bi-monthly or quarterly treatments is a massive selling point. I agree with that. That's fantastic. Perform a quick exclusion audit while you walk the property. You don't necessarily have to be heavy labor of sealing a house yourself to get credit for it. Customers place a massive value on exterminators who simply perform a physical audit of the structure, point out exact entry points to the homeowner, and advise them on how to seal them up. Okay, you could walk while you talk. That's great. I think that's a fantastic one. Ditch aggressive sales tactics and rigid contracts. I mean, yeah, don't do the contracts because you should just be doing a good job anyways, and they'll be automatically wanting to pay you because you're solving their problems. But I'm not just saying being aggressive in sales either, but I wouldn't feed into that too much. Nobody wants to be sold to, but everybody wants to buy. So just remember that. Reducing your reliance on long-term contract-only models and offering flexible contract-free transactional pricing. Instantly got it. Prove you actually identified the specific pest. Customers constantly mock baseboard jockeys, technicians who blindly spray baseboards without investigating the root of the problem. You can instantly elevate customer satisfaction by visibly identifying the specific species of pest before. Okay, so I would agree with that because I know when I worked at the pest control company and I worked with guys who would just like dismiss the customer, be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna spray and you'll be good to go. You're taken care of." It's like, well, that's great. That's the massive pain point is making sure the bugs are gone. But there are little pain points that build up to that big pain point, like, what kind of bugs are in my house? Where are the bugs entering from? How many bugs are coming through these spots? Like just little bitty things, and you can just simply educate, and it just and it solves these little bitty pain points that help to solve a bigger pain point. And it's not hard. Okay. All right. I think that's good for now. I am really impressed. Anyway, so once you have all the pain points here, again, you can create the infographics of what people are complaining about, right? That's incredible. They did that again. I'm so blown away by that. And the same thing with this. Let's do an infographic. Create me an infographic specifically only about pest control, about the positive things that customers praised about that they loved from their local pest control companies. Okay. Instructional, generate. Awesome. Ooh. Okay, I got a good one. I got a really good one. Okay, so I've got a really good one for you real quick. This is what I'll do. I will do an infographic, and I will say, generate me an infographic that I can hand to my customers as a pamphlet. So for reference and context, I am a pest control company, and I have pest control customers that I need to educate on the pest. And so what I would like you to do is to generate me a infographic that I can give to the customer as a deliverable to educate them. And then let's go instructional, and we can generate that. Okay, so that's pretty useful. Yeah, so by the way, like you can, and I need to go in like 3 minutes. I should have started with this. I'm sorry, I have some brain fog today. I have not been sleeping well, like I said earlier. I hit my head like 3 times in my sleep last night. It was awful. And I woke up and it was just a dream. It was terrible. I hate hitting my head. Okay, that's dumb. Let's go on from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's do pest control company in, let's go Scottsdale. That's where I live. And we could just go down. And what I'm basically doing is I'm looking for an example. But for your case, you can just use your company. And so once you find it, it might take me a second. I shouldn't spend too much time on this. Let's just do nice pest company. Okay, that's an awesome truck. Actually, I really like that. So let's go to the website. And this is perfect. This is a perfect example because we have the blue and yellow for the color. Oh, I love that video. That's cool. All right, let's not get distracted, Jacob. All right, let's copy this, and then we can post this as a source, and then I'm going to hit shift and then hit the enter so I can go down below it because we're going to do another source. And I'm going to say, what am I going to say? I'm going to say to Gemini, I want you to find me the best rated, most praised, most detailed guide on how to treat for common house pests for Phoenix, Arizona, and the local surrounding area. So again, my main goal with this is I need an instructional piece, a guide on how to treat for the pest. Let's exit that. I think I saw God in there somewhere. I need God. I have an accent, so there we go. Okay, and then let's do Flash. That's fine. Let's go ahead and submit that and just see what it comes back with. This is where you can upload your SOPs. So your manuals, your operating protocols and stuff like that. You can upload them here on how you're gonna do this. Posture check. Big 3 at a glance. I need sources. Okay, I need sources. There we go. All right, so we're gonna get these sources, and that's the main thing. We just need the sources. University of Arizona Corporate Extension Repository. Okay. I want the URLs listed that are the highest quality and the highest rated and the highest trusted. I just want them listed, non-bulleted, non-numbered, non-formatted at all. Just the URLs, please. Thank you so much. Okay, send that off. Okay, we can just copy these. Oh, we can just copy that, and then we can go back to here. And how do I want to do this? We could just copy that. We're just gonna paste this in here. Okay, we're gonna wait for it to come back. Fast research. Oh no, I messed up. I should have hit add source. Oh, it's doing it. Yeah, it's doing it. Okay, we can import that there. All right, sweet. And then I'm just gonna take all of this, and I'm just gonna delete all this here. And I want to make sure that it added nice pest. There we go, nice pest right there. So it added it, so we can get rid of this. Okay, and this is great. So what I want to do is I want to. Oh, how do I want to do this? I don't want to do this. Okay. I'm tripping up here because we're going to do nicepest.com. That's not .com. I'm just tripping up. I got to go. Okay, so let's just do this. I'm going to say, okay, so my company is the Scottsdale Nice Pest Company. What I would like you to do is I want you to write me a detailed, comprehensive prompt that I can put into the infographic section to create me a educational guide, an educational pamphlet guide that I can hand to my customers as a deliverable. Okay, so we can just send that there. We don't need this over here. Okay. Okay, so it's generating the infographic based off of that. Give me 1 second. I have to turn off my desktop screen here so I can open a message. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's turn that back on. Sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. I've gone ahead and I've created a detailed infographic for this. I think it's already generating us right now, but we can go ahead and just create another one because it doesn't slow the first one down. We do this. Let's do standard and let's do simple, instructional, and let's just generate that and see. Now, I am doing this live and showing you. If I had this, I could show you more detail later on. You can actually use your website and your SOPs to generate the colors and the graphics and the look and the font and everything of these graphics to give to customers. So it's extremely powerful, and things that are extremely powerful tend to be more complex. So that's for another video, and we'll go through that later. Okay. We just gotta wait. Actually, I think I might do that. I think for the video, because I'm gonna record a video in the next hour, and I've got like a bazillion things I need to talk about. Actually, I got like 40 things I need to talk about. I think that would be a good video, is how to generate the infographics for your customers, because that's like one hard pain point for you as a service business owner, is you don't have the time, money, and resources to be just dumping it into generating graphics, and Notebook LM can do it so easily. It's actually insane how well it can do it. So we just came back with this graphic here. Let's see, this is the first one we did. This is the more generic one. But again, if you look at it, it came back with the colors that we have for our brand. And the brand that we used, for example, was it was Nice Pest. It's nicepest.com. It's a Scottsdale pest control company, for instance. We have the blue and the yellow. And so we're able to generate a infographic based off of, and we could change the logo if we wanted to there, but based off of our colors. So it's basically just showing an educational piece on how to prevent pests coming into your home for the customer. I think that's this. Let's see. This is the other one we generated. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, this was the generic one that was first before we did the brand colors. But yeah, again, this is just an infographic. But again, so I think the next video I'll do, because I've got to go in like 2 seconds, is the next video I will do a video on how to generate graphics so you can hand it to your customer. And you could do this for a whole bunch of different businesses, but I think I'll do the pest control one as an example, because I have a lot of experience with that. So anyways, okay, guys, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. MST. And yeah, I'll see you then. Okay, peace out, y'all. Gotta go. Sorry for rushing off. All right, bye now.